Welcome back to Let's Play Darkest Dungeon. I'm your host, Timepants, and today I have still not figured out what the cause of my audio problem is, and this speedrun has just been a real test of my patience, because, it's just seemed like it's been one audio problem after another. It was, first, like, my microphone, and then, figuring out how we're actually going to record any of this, and it's now being done on a cellular telephone, as you kids call it. And finally, my it seems like my sound card pooped out. Like, I don't know at this point. I don't know if like the sound card failing would even have like any sort of meaningful impact on whether or not this is being recorded at all. So let's see. What do I remember? Let me give you the story here. So the hag is like kind of gross, and she lives in the woods. He described her as a young lady who took interest in her in his experiments, and she also likes to eat people. I don't think that comes up in the first installment. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So again, I am going to find some sort of resolution here. I just ask you bear with me. I haven't had much of a chance to do recordings or even really mess with anything. Even trying to fix my computer, which is something I'd really like to do. Maybe flashing daggers would have been better there. But I've been busy. I'm actually applying for a new job. Maybe the fan out there will recall that at my old job at my current job rather, I was working something like 10 to sometimes 20, I think at most like 28 days in a row. And I was working like, in some cases, 55 to like 75 hours a week. And, the money isn't terrible, but, if you're working doctor's hours, you probably would figure on a little bit better compensation than I'm receiving. So I'm currently looking into new opportunities, and so that has that's sidetracked me a little bit from what's really important, which is of course playing a video game for strangers. Not that you're all strangers. Some of you are very close, intimate, passing acquaintances that I've all the same, joking aside, I am very happy to see in the comments section or sending messages from time to time. It's very cool. So I actually do miss the time away where I'm not able to put up recordings or respond as readily as I might like to post in the comments section. Don't think for 1 second that your efforts go unnoticed. Oh, what a great use of a crit there. But I probably have not been as available as I may have previously. And it's definitely been kind of stressful. Like, the job application process, as I have gotten older, I have found is still just as insulting as it was when I was applying for my very first job. Like, I mean, they want, like, this place that I'm applying for, they want, like, transcripts from university. They want, like, all sorts of, like, letters of recommendation. It's just like, Jesus, dude, I have been in the workforce for 10 years now. Like, can you take my word for it? But the past two places that I've been, they have asked for like my places of residence for the past 10 years. And I've mentioned before, and I think it bears mentioning again, I used to work in Japan, and over the past like 10 years, I have lived in like 8 different places. That is a lot of addresses that I do not really remember. Maybe I'm the asshole here. Maybe everybody remembers every address that they've ever lived at and moved around more than I do. But I don't think so. I think I'm pretty unique in the fact that basically now, a year and a half after having moved back to the US, probably for the last time, at least for the foreseeable future, I think I'm pretty unique in the fact that my entire life still fits in about 3 suitcases. So, yeah, when they're prying for all of this information and they're saying, what was your employment history during this time span? And I'm just like, well, I worked outside of the country, and here's all the contact information. It's a little bit annoying, again, that they're prying for all of this, but when I am volunteering to give it, all of a sudden they don't have the ability to parse any information in their online application that is not in one of the 50 states. So what state is Osaka in? Well, it's in a foreign country. I can't help but notice that's not an option. Well, where did you live in 2011? I lived in Nishiadai in Tokyo, near Kitasenju. Right, but which of the 50 states was that in? Well, geez, you really tied my hands here. I can't answer that. So, yeah, maybe I'm the asshole. This is punishment for having left at all. But yeah, God, for those of you who are still in college and looking to graduate, let me give you a little piece of advice. Don't. Holy shit, it's a fucking jungle out there. And they just, your employers, they just want to know everything about you. They're really creepy, obsessive, stalker exes. I had to do, for my past couple of job applications, I had to do, background checks where I go to a police department and have them fingerprint me and then, send it away to some FBI laboratory where they can run the prints, and I'll find out in 14 to 18 days if I'm a criminal. So that shit really sucks, and it's a hell of an ask when you're actually working. So you can't just go to your boss and be like, hey, I want to take off this Friday because I have to go either A, to the police department to get fingerprinted, which raises a whole mess of questions, or B, to apply for another job that's better than this one. It's not a conversation that anybody really wants to have. So yeah, that's been a ginormous pain in my bottom. So anyway, the run has been super normal. Look at everybody right now. Holy shit, we look so okay. This is definitely boss ready. We can take on the Hag, and I think we can feel pretty confident about our ability to carry this one. Now, I do now realize what a dumb asshole I am, because I had thought to myself, well, if we bring our occultist, we might as well bring a bounty hunter. That way, we can mark our target, get a bunch of bonus damage, and hopefully just, wreck the Hag in no time flat. Does anybody Anybody see the problem with that? Does anybody see the flaw in my reasoning? I'll give you a second to figure it out, to mull it over. Yeah, okay, so the problem is, unfortunately, our bounty hunter can only do bonus damage to marked targets when they're in the front row. Front row, yeah, that was a bit of an oversight. So, yeah, we cannot move, or the front 2 rows rather, but it doesn't matter because the front 2 rows are going to be occupied by cookware that we're really not going to want to fight at all if we can avoid it. I mean, worst comes to worst, maybe we will have to knock somebody free of the cauldron, but I'm not really planning on it. I'm hoping that we can just damage race the hag down, and with 66 health and no protection, I think that's going to be pretty easy. Now, there is an option to, well, I was going to say there is an option to use our bounty hunter to get a stun, but that's probably a waste of time because the hag gets 2 actions around and is almost certainly going to get to shake off the stun if we even land it, because 100% stun reduction is a lot. By the way, I think every single time that we have had our Hellion use that Iron Swan, like in the opening round of a boss fight, I think we've always gotten the maximum of 24 points of damage. So, holy shit, that was very successful, and I think at this point you just take the victory lap. Like, holy shit. I was not expecting it to go that well, but it definitely did. So, yeah, let's mess around a bit here. Let's see if we can maybe tease out the secret room, get a lot of bonus treasure. But yeah, like every bone in my body is telling me, explore the tent. What could possibly go wrong? I think it's like 50 points of stress, so that is a pretty good place to start. And now I'm wondering, what do we drop? Like the stun stone, I don't think we're going to ever want to use. And I think it's like 750 gold if you sell it. So basically that little play there is hoping that we find 2 more of those gemstones to stack to at least break even, and I threw away our anti-venom. Holy shit. Well, that is really annoying, and yeah, another hunger event there basically tells me that, yeah, we probably need to throw away any hope that we may have had of perhaps finding the secret room and just try and throw as many consumables at as many opportunities as we get to try and extract a little bit more treasure, because our time here is definitely limited. So yeah, use the shovel up, and I mean, that kind of sucks. This really could have been an opportunity for us to run through the rest of this dungeon and get a lot of bonus treasure, but yeah, at this point I think basically, yeah, we're just trying to get whatever table scraps we can before we use up the last of our food. How do we want to handle this? I don't know if targeting the Fusiliers is the best course of action, but I think we can fairly reasonably assume that we're going to get at least 1 kill in the front row, and yeah, the other one will be stunned. So this should be absolutely fine. Huh? Well, that wasn't fine at all. I'm really disappointed. Hopefully that's going to be a kill. All right, so with 2 left, yeah, I think we just love tap the first one, and then, yeah, what do you think? Mark this guy, and hopefully take him down before he even gets a chance to act. Perfect. All right, well, that was an academic, an academic battle right there, and we did actually end up stacking, we did end up stacking 4 of those green gems, so that gamble paid off, although honestly I think probably if I wasn't being super greedy and thinking with my smart brain, I probably would not have tossed the trinket. But it ended up being the right move, and now with this hunger event, I think we basically have to admit that it sucks. That this is going to be the last leg of the journey. Maybe we do one more hallway, because the likelihood of and actually this is nice because we know we can't get hunger events here in the next 2 sections of the hallway, and I think we just leave it. It's too good of a run to throw away and potentially eat up, probably in total 100 points of stress on the chance of a random hunger event. So, well, that's nice. So I promise you, by the time we do our next episode, I will have figured out what's causing the sound issue. I will get it fixed, and we'll get to listen to the golden-throated ancestor together. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.